Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Now guys, you know we have our regular poster boy, the Ashraf Hakimi, who was the first person well known and world famous for not falling victim to a marriage scam. Everybody else, every celebrity that had been targeted had actually been the victim of marriage scam. And this is the first known celebrity, rich celebrity, who managed to avoid being scammed by a marriage scam parasite. Now, here's the thing with Hakimi. In his case, it was not orchestrated. But don't get me wrong, he's the poster boy. And as the poster boy for this kind of thing, he highlighted it and he have woken up a lot of men to what has been going on. I mean, Johnny Depp's case did take it to a level, but with Achraf Hakimi, he's showing that it can be done and how it should be done. And this is one way of doing it. And he's our hero. But there's another hero out there. Because here's the difference between these two heroes. In Achraf Hakimi's case, what he did was not something that he planned and orchestrated. It just happened as a matter of course. It was a normal course which was followed, which began years ahead before he met the woman, and not with any intention of circumventing any scam or anything, but it happened that way. Here is what happened in Achraf Hakimi's case. When he signed all his major contracts, he was underage. And because he was underage, it was his parents who had to handle his contracts and his monies. So all his monies would go to his mother. Therefore, because he was underage and because of all of that, that stings was set in motion like that from day one. It's just that when he became of age, because his mother's handling of his finances was happening so well and everything was so smooth and so perfect, I mean, let's face it, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he did not fix it. It worked so smoothly that not even his own wife was aware that his monies were not in his name. Because everything he wanted, he could get. And everything he wanted to buy, he could afford. So, and every contract he signed, everything was going in his mother's account. And it didn't matter to him because it never affected his life. And that is how it went. So, in Achraf Hakimi's case, it was just providence. It was just good luck. And because it was lackadaisical in changing things to from his mother's name to his name, that's what saved him. But this other guy now, which he sat down, he's planned and he schemed and he orchestrated and fully, completed the task of preventing his wife from getting his money. And here is what he did. First of all, his name is Gabriel Villa. And Gabriel Villa is an extremely smart man. Now, let me tell you what Gabriel Villa did. In 1994, Villa met Christina at a party or in a nightclub, I think it was. And he met her and they hit it off. And they eventually started a relationship. They got married a year later, which is in 1990, not even a year later, but they got married less than a year, but the following year they got married. But I should state that the both of them, there was a 31-year age gap between them. She was 39 and he was 70. 70 years old, when he married this 39-year-old lady. And he was rich, let me say that, because no 39-year-old, as far as we know, no 39-year-old woman, nubile woman, was going to take up a 70-year-old man who was poor. He was an attorney. He was not just an attorney, he was also an immigration lawyer, and he also ran holiday businesses, vacation businesses, and so on. Travel agents. So he had all that, and he had his money. Now, when they met, and they got married the following year, and here is what happened now. They have been living together for 20 years. 20 years. Right? So the guy is now in his 90s. The guy is now 90. And she is 59. Now, what happened was, okay, there are two stories to this. Now, let me get the first one first, because it's nice. Listen now, no. Listen, guys. She decided to divorce. The first story is that she wanted to divorce her husband after all these years. Really? If you can put up a man for 10 years, with a man for 10 years, you must can live with him forever. But anyway, she waited 20 years, double it up, and then want a divorce. And when she tried to get the divorce and get everything according to the story and take him to the cleaners, she realized that she was divorced. She wasn't married to the man. Only to find out that what really happened, it was that 4 months after they got married, he took her on a vacation to the Dominican Republic. Yes, the beautiful Dominican Republic. And while in the Dominican Republic, the guy went to an attorney and he hired lawyers and he filed for divorce right there in the Dominican Republic while on vacation with his wife 4 months after they got married, and he filed for divorce, citing what? Incompatibility of temperaments. I don't know what the hell that could mean in a divorce, or what essence that have, but basically he hired lawyer to represent him, hire lawyer to represent his wife behind her back and without her knowledge, and he got his divorce. So he came to the Dominican Republic 4 months after he's married, divorced his wife, traveled back with his wife back to the United States or wherever because they have house in Italy, they have house in Miami, they have house in the US, and they have houses elsewhere, other parts of the world. But here is what now. Him carry her back home into the matrimonial home, got her pregnant, have a son by her, and they lived together for 20 years. 20 years. She shack up with this man, thinks that this man is her husband, and don't know, say, the man divorced her 4 months after they were married. In 2015, according to the story, when she filed for divorce, that's when she finding out she did just shack up with the man. Because here what? The thing is, the Dominican Republic is the only country in the world where a man where anybody, any human being, can go and get a divorce within days without even having to tell your partner, say you divorce them. Can you imagine that? So, no. First of all, this guy is smart. But honestly, trust me, here's where he made a mistake. And I don't think he not even call it a mistake. He didn't know, say this girl had come to nyam him out, or he thought this girl had come to nyam him out. But apparently she was genuine. Because if you're not genuinely love somebody, you're not stay with them 20 years, no matter what luxury they have, no matter what they have in this world. I could have mastered God. If you don't love them, you're not spending 20 years on nobody. So we know this woman was actually genuine. But of course, him never gonna believe that. Well, me never gonna believe that either. Come on, let's face it. All right. Anyway, So I hear that when she filed for divorce now, and it's like,
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
yeah, man. She was already divorced. Anyway. That was the first story we got. But you know, some people might make some things up. We get to find out that's not really how it went. In other words, she did not file for a divorce. I went into further investigation and I find that the girl, the lady, his wife or his ex-wife that he sleep in bed comfortable with for 20 years and still is sleeping in bed with her, mind you, had not actually filed for divorce. What happened was that they had a flat. They had this flat because they had bought a condominium on in a very nice upscale part of New York. They say it's on West 55th Street. And she had that flat. They had that flat, and it was in both of their name. But what happened was that they had to do some transaction to do with the flat, and when she took the documents into the lawyer to see what was going on, I don't know if they were selling it or what they were doing, she realized that her name was not on the deed. And when she realized that her name was not on the deed, she said, but her name was there originally. So when she inquired, she get a lawyer to inquire, and when the lawyer find out that her name was removed from the deed many years ago because she and her husband were divorced, and therefore they do not share the property jointly. Mind you, it's his money who bought the property, but at the time he bought the property, both of their names were in it. Now her name has been removed, so she wanted to know how her name could be removed when they are still husband and wife. So she got a lawyer and a private investigator to dig further. And when they dug, they realized that yes, they are actually divorced. They were divorced 4 months after the marriage. And she said, but we lived together all these years, we have sleep together all now. The man, she says, well, she loves her husband. She actually loves the man. She said he's very charming and charismatic and intelligent. And those were the things that she saw in her husband. And she said despite the age difference, it was love at first sight. And he was and still is her greatest love. So, mind you, I think this man, he overplayed his smartness in the sense that he actually did not expect this marriage to last. He thought that it would have ended quickly, very quickly too. And that's why in only 4 months him run go divorce her first before she could have claimed nothing. Because obviously he didn't expect this marriage to even go 6 months. You see what I mean? Because he make sure got divorced her in 4 months. But this man is smart. I don't think he's cruel. I think this man have his head properly screwed on. This guy, him do a Hakimi. If Hakimi had been like all the other tons of really messed up men who walked into it blindly and got shafted, this guy, Gabriel Villa, he played it systematically and completely and totally and kept up this charade for 20 years. So basically, what Mrs. Villa is saying is this. I realize what Christina is saying. I realize now that during all of these years of joy and happiness and of difficult moments we shared together, my husband had lied to me and had the Dominican divorce on the back of his mind. It's what is hurting me most because I still love my husband and I do not want a divorce. I want to live with him. She said that her husband is using the illegal and fraudulent divorce to rob her of her share of their Manhattan apartment on West 56th Street, which because these buildings, these condominiums, these apartments sells for basically 1,400,000 US. 1,400,000 US. That's the average price. Can be a little less, can be a little more. But call it $1.5 million for one of these flat. And I'll take her name out of it. I don't know how soon or how late in the relationship, but I suppose it might be some years later. And it was because she said that what sparked her too. It's because a tax bill came. A tax bill came, and when the tax bill come and she walked me to look for see the pay the taxes for the flat, that's when she realized that the flat was actually not owned by them both, but was owned by him, and that's what started the investigation. Well, here is what. In my opinion, this man is not just 30 years older. This man is 30 years smarter. Or basically, this man is maybe 30 years older than her, but maybe 300 years smarter than her. Or smarter than any woman who have come with this parasitic behavior. Now, Hakim was a legend, and he's a legend, he has been a legend. But this man, Hakim got it by default. This man actually protected himself. Now, I'm sure he thought that this was going to end a lot sooner. And you know what happened? She stuck alone around much longer than he expected. And he treated her much better than she expected. And she was more committed. So it's when he realized now how committed after all these years, he realized that she did really, really love him. She's saying now, I have always said it, that piece of paper is a problem because they were happy together for 20 years. Unmarried, even though they thought they were married. So she was not fed up and waiting for him to die. She actually loved the man. So basically, as I'm saying, this man, take a leaf out of this man book. When you're married to a woman, guys, go to Dominican Republic, whether you want to carry her or leave her at home. Once you're married to this lady and you're rich, and you're older than her, no matter what age you are, once you're rich, the parasites are going to come at you. Go to Dominican Republic, divorce her secretly, and don't produce the paper until you go in a courthouse and she filed for divorce. Then you go straight to the attorney, right? And you take it out and show them, and kiss them goodbye. Yes, and we don't know how legal it is, so check with the lawyers, guys. But basically, I do not think that anybody should rob anybody. Nobody should scam anybody. But this is something that women have been doing over the past maybe 20, 25 years. And they do this on vulnerable men. Because most sportsmen are not intellectual. They are intellectually challenged. And therefore, they don't think about those things. They just think of the simple things like love and not think of scamming. And they always think that women they love are going to treat them well and are genuine, which is far from the truth. So guys, there you have it. This man, the true legend is not called Hakim. The true legend is called Villa, Gabriel Villa. But what I'm hoping though is that he will make it up with Christina, remarry her genuinely this time, because after 20 years, she deserves something. After 20 years, she deserves something, and she deserves a lot. So I would advise him to just marry her. I don't know if they have been remarried or what, but I'm going to do some more research and follow up and let you know what has happened to this couple, because I think they're a loving couple and should stay together. But guys, follow this. If you can't, if your mother dead and you're at that age where you have to marry a young girl, nothing wrong with marrying a younger woman. Yes, a man is as young as the woman he feels. So because you want to be as young as the woman, you're going to feel a young woman, feel up a young woman, and that's your age, right? So guys, like, share, leave a comment below, and I look forward to seeing my next video.